Hello there, my Sagittarius collective. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Oh my goodness, Sagittarius. Those of you that have healthy boundaries right now, feel like you're blocking that toxic energy. So keep doing your shadow work, Sagittarius. Those of you who aren't really in the collective sort of vibe, you're looking at things from a different sort of perspective. I love this sort of hellfire brimstone vibe with you, Sagittarius. So those of you that's looking at things from a spiritual standpoint, don't put so much emphasis on the negative. So don't allow yourself to go down that rabbit hole where you're thinking all sort of doom and gloom. I feel like you've been there, done that. So you kind of understand that energy. There should be an optimism with you. There's blessings. There's peace, love, and light with you. So stay focused on that. Don't stay stuck or stagnant for too long. Those of you with regards to codependency, be mindful of that as well. There's far too many sort of opportunists around you, Sagittarius. So some of you definitely need to move forward at a very comfortable pace and be very mindful with your decision making. Yeah, now's not the time for any sort of disruptive vibes. Now's not the time to get out of this sort of comfort zone you have for yourself. You're learning to navigate. You're learning to make decisions in a different sort of vibe. So it's going to take you a while to get used to that. Some of you learning to trust your intuition again. So, you know, baby steps. It's better that you take one step at a time than trying to run a sprint. Sit your ass down. Definitely trusting your instincts and your intuition, Sagittarius. It's not all that complicated. Three of Cups there with the Fool. A lot of you are definitely on your own sort of path. You're doing your own thing. So don't tap into energies that's not yours. You don't need that sort of external vibe. So be mindful of your cross-watching. Be mindful of the sort of vibrations that you do attach to. Some of you, you got like a whole nother sort of thing going on with you. This sort of power of optimism. Some of you getting out of that stuck, stagnant energy. Those of you Sagittariuses, if you're dealing with like a church dynamic, that could be sort of what's going on with you as well. That's not going to be everybody. So take what's yours and leave what's not. Ten of Wands, a lot of obstacles being removed, but you're doing a lot of that work yourself. Yeah, a lot of you are doing that with your thoughts, the way you look at things. This is doing the clearing work. Those of you focusing on your codependent relationships or partnerships, not allowing yourself to feel overwhelmed, taking your time. It doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you're doing the work, Sagittarius. Queen of Cups. I feel like your intuition is on point. But I do feel like you have a jealous energy around you as well. Queen of Cups with the Page of Pentacles. Some of you, this could be X energy. This feels like Pluto. Pluto, Mercury, Jupiter. So watch your favorite astrologer, Sagittarius. And there's that Six of Pentacles. You're definitely heading into a good sort of opportunity. There's blessings wanting to come in for you, but you need to make sure that you're being very mindful. Definitely be mindful of who you're sharing your dreams and goals with as well, too, Sagittarius. Because some of you, your hopes and dreams and expectations are far greater than a lot of those around you. So, you know what I mean? Some of you better off keeping those to yourself, allowing that balance to come in naturally. There's no rush to this either. So there's no like shortcut vibes, Sagittarius. So those of you that deal with a lot of people with that Three of Cups that try to do the shortcuts, you're not really focused on doing the shortcuts. I feel like you're going to put forth the time, energy, and effort that you need. Because there is no sort of quick fix solution. So you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to put forth the time, energy, or effort to get the result that you want. And it's going to bring about a very balanced energy. But who gets your time, energy, and attention as well? Basis of this is the Six of Wands. I feel like that Five of Wands for you is working through that sort of conflict energy. You have more distractors than what you have sort of people cheering you on, Sagittarius. So you should be used to this, or this is something that you should definitely keep in mind. You could be dealing with a lot of fake-ass people as well that don't like the fact that you get these opportunities while they don't really get it. Especially with whoever you're putting your time, energy, and attention into. I definitely feel like you're stingy which some of you need to be, because some things you just need to keep to yourself. Some things you need to be very mindful of. Energy around this is the Two of Cups. What's your sort of guidance vibe? This feels like Gemini as well, which is the your opposite on the chart there, Sagittarius. So healing relationships or partnerships. Hopefully you're talking this out, you're working this out. So you're better able to navigate this energy that you are sort of surrounded by. This could be astrological, so definitely watch your favorite astrologer. Some of you, this could be in regards to your religion, your philosophy. You're always met with opposition, so it's not like it's never been an easy path for you, but some of you are learning to find that easy way. So it is kind of the path of least resistance. Stay in that energy, stay in that sort of thought, and it'll help sort of navigate you the way you need to go. Because there's the Ace of Cups. This is loving yourself, giving to yourself. This is like baptismal energy as well, Sagittarius. This is like good cleansing energy too. So be mindful of the cross-watch in Sagittarius. Some of you be mindful of that overly dramatic Capricorn energy, because life's far too complex to let it just be sort of one note. If everything you sort of tap into has that sort of doom, very dissonant, very minor keyed, it's not a very positive vibe. Make sure that that doesn't just keep you weighed down because you're not seeing the sort of the brightness, the opportunity. It's the difference between hellfire, brimstone, and our God is a loving God. So whatever the complexity is with you, look at that Wheel of Fortune. So the Capricorn energy, a lot of you, you've been there, done that. So you can navigate in this energy. This is all about choices, especially those of you that's working on codependency issues. Those of you codependent relationships or partnerships, keep doing the work. It is slow going, but that is the way it is. It's like the good and the bad. You're able to understand both, but you don't put so much focus on the negative. This is a good cleansing energy. So some of you getting out of that sort of stuck, stagnant energy. Those of you breaking free from a sort of group dynamic that really isn't all that good for you. This is like going from the singles only group to looking at things from a more realistic viewpoint. Those of you, where's the optimism, right? So you should be optimistic with regards to relationships or partnerships. There should be optimism with whatever you're choosing to put your time, energy, and attention into, instead of just staying in that sort of stuck, overly dramatic energy. So breaking free from the group dynamic. Those of you kind of breaking free from a sort of collective vibe. Whatever you got going, Sagittarius, keep that shit to yourself, because this is like a very interesting energy. But you're doing the work. This is clearing obstacles for you. So you should be far more focused on you instead of the sort of external vibes. Over here, you got the Three of Wands. There's that optimism. There's the King of Cups. I feel like you should be embodying the King of Cups type vibe. It's not that you don't feel anything, but that doesn't mean you have to show your feelings. So rather closed off. Some of you not letting yourself feel overwhelmed. There's blessings energy for you, but you gotta, it's like you get rewarded for the choices that you make. You get rewarded for the work that you do. It's not necessarily like tangible opportunities, but there's little rewards along the way. So you kind of know that you're growing, you're learning, you're understanding. This is like pennies from heaven. So those of you, whatever you use is your sort of blessing sign, especially if you got a whole lot of sort of spiritual faith. A lot of this is faith as well. So you're just sort of moving along on faith. Faith that your decision making is going to work for you. You got the King and Queen of Cups here. So some of you, with regards to your relationships or partnerships, you're being very mindful of that. The strength, some of y'all, the strength to just sit the fuck down and sort of get those blessings, soak it all in. Don't discount even the minor sort of obstacles that you've overcome. So don't be so hard on yourself. Don't place so much sort of, don't place so much burden on yourself that you're not able to achieve your goals and dreams. So some of you need to learn to cut yourself some slack. So all this work you're doing, there could be days where you're feeling a little tired. So you are able to sort of take the breaks that you need, get the rest that you need. You should not be overwhelmed. So if it's baby steps moving forward, it's baby steps moving forward. Don't discount any accomplishments that you've already overcome as well. So there's so much with you, the complexity with you. Those of you with way too much sort of external energy with whatever the hell it is you're doing. A lot of you are overcoming that sort of mindset. A lot of you are overcoming a sort of group dynamic that is different from you. So if you're looking at religion, some of you could be looking into churches, or there could be that sort of vibe with you. So it's be very mindful of the Kool-Aid that you drink. Be very mindful of the energies that you sort of allow around you, especially those that create a lasting impression with that emotions, with the cups energy right there. I do feel like you need to be stingy. So not everyone sort of gets the opportunity to be in your sort of positive vibes. Oh my goodness, Sagittarius. Ace of Wands, a lot of growth coming in for you. This is simplifying as well. You go from the 10 of Wands down to that Ace of Wands. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of opportunity for you. So stay focused. This is almost like running a relay, Sagittarius. But who are you sort of running this relay with? Some of you, it's like you're never going to get across the finish line if you're waiting for someone else. So some of you could be switching from relay races to just kind of doing your own. I don't know what the hell they call that in track, but, you know, instead of dependent upon someone else, I think you're going to sort of run the laps yourself. You have a better opportunity at that. So, damn Sagittarius. Bottom of the deck here, you got the 2 of Swords with the 4 of Swords. You should not be feeling ruffled. You should not be feeling any sort of discontent. You should not be allowing yourself to tap into any of that sort of stuck, stagnant energy. Rest, relaxation. This is a healing time for you. So if you're putting forth the work, take the time to rest. Right? Even if you're building muscle, you have to allow the healing to take place. That's where the growth is, right? You do the work and then allow the healing to take place. It makes you stronger. Plus, it also keeps you from hurting yourself. So this is very logical. This should seem logical for you too. You can't just keep trying to climb that mountain and not take a break. So you're able to make movement forward, take the rest that you need, recoup, feel good about yourself, and move forward a little more. There shouldn't be a whole lot of struggle. So don't take on more than what you need to, and don't try to push yourself so much that you're not getting the healing that you need. So, damn, you're in such good vibes here, Sagittarius. But a lot of you, it's definitely different from the sort of group dynamic. Some of you with the sort of groups that you associate with as well. Not everyone's able to do this. So definitely allow yourself that opportunity. Some of you, it's time you sort of upgrade with the sort of group dynamics that you have, or the people, the energy around you. Unfazed, and definitely taking the time that you need. King of Pentacles. There's the Lover's vibe. There's the Ace of Swords over that Wheel of Fortune. A lot of clarity with you. King and Queen of Swords. That harkens back to this Gemini energy. Some of you with that King and Queen of Cups energy. So no sort of bullshit when it comes to you and any emotional connections. You're able to have good communication as well. So you should be able to talk it out and work it out. If you can't, then that's probably not a relationship or partnership for you. Some of you could be dealing with people that really don't want to hear your sort of story. They don't want to sort of tap into that sort of vibe. That's okay. Some of you need to sit down and just keep that shit to yourself, because that's your sort of movement forward. Those of you with regards to coming over Capricorn energy. So, damn, you're definitely met with a lot of opposition here, Sagittarius, but it brings you into a better sort of influence here. Oh, Some of you, this could definitely be more of a masculine vibe. So those of you, this is you being very mindful. Some of you stingy as fuck as well. So, damn. Some of you allow that sort of yin-yang within yourself as well. A lot of free vibes with you. A lot of sort of unconnected vibes with you. A lot of freedom with you as well. So it's not looking at things from an overly dramatic standpoint. You notice in this one, there's none of that temptation there as well. So those of you that's definitely well aware of your shadow work, you've been doing your shadow work, establishing healthy boundaries for yourself. And when it comes to relationships or partnerships, don't be so hard on yourself that you don't allow yourself time to rest. So Sagittarius, right? If you work hard, you need to make sure that you rest recuperation. A lot of this should be common sense. You should definitely be talking this out, working this out, Sagittarius. So, you know, get the questions answered from the right people. Focus on what is important, because this sort of helps you move forward. Talking it out, working it out, getting the rest that you need, being very mindful and just making healthy decisions. You're met with a lot of opposition, Sagittarius, so that could be sort of normal for you. Some of you, this could definitely be astrological when it comes to you. There's far too much influence. Some of you, unnecessary influence, and it's not always like a positive influence. So, damn Sagittarius. Some of you need to focus on that sort of masculine energy. That's the sort of duality. That's the Gemini, your opposite, which is a good compliment to you, Sagittarius. If it's in relationships or partnerships, it's untethered relationships or partnerships. There's no real, there's nothing that really keeps a relationship there. So it's a very free-flowing connection. It's a very free-flowing relationship or partnership. You're both sort of doing your own thing. This almost feels like the book, is it the 5 people you meet in heaven or the 7 people you meet in heaven? So those of you, if you're on like a spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening, if you can look at relationships or partnerships in your life and you can look at it from a biblical standpoint, I feel like there's a religious vibe with this when it comes to you, Sagittarius. So keeping that faith, this is all about faith. This is all about overcoming. This is all about moving forward. This is all about facing adversity. This is all about coming out the other side with more of a renewed vision, with more of a renewed sort of vigor. But you need to get the rest that you need too. So don't run yourself so tired that you can't really do anything. As much work as you do, you need to make sure that you're getting enough rest as well. A lot of breakthrough energy with this too, Sagittarius. So, damn. Celebrate all the accomplishments. A lot of you learning to keep that shit to yourself as well. You need to be hard to fucking read, Sagittarius, because that's going to make all the difference. This allows that dynamic when it comes to you as well. Those of you could be meeting some old school type vibes as well. So those that don't see why you're doing what the fuck it is you're doing, you could have some very old, antiquated sort of beliefs on this that don't really meet with the normal vibes of today. So, damn. But don't be so hard on yourself. Don't let that sort of Capricorn energy overwhelm you as well. Cut that shit out of your life. Yeah, even the Bible don't put that much focus on Capricorn. So, damn. Sagittarius. Take what's yours, leave what's not. Focus on the good. Definitely don't be so hard on yourself either. Celebrate even the littlest of accomplishments. Get the rest that you need. For some of you, that could be what sort of always keeps you stuck or stagnant. As much work that you put out, you need to make sure that you're resting as well. So you need to be asking a lot of questions, getting a lot of clarity with whatever it is that you're doing, and finding a comfortable pace for yourself. Sagittarius, some of you could feel like you're just in competition with yourself. So it's okay to have goals and obstacles, but have realistic goals. Set realistic goals and set realistic obstacles. And for some of you, it's fuck the sort of time frame. Because you don't need that. If you're tired, you rest. If you're thirsty, you drink, right? So you allow that sort of natural flow, that natural vibe. Because there is no competition. So some of you could feel like you're just competing with yourself and you're going to run yourself ragged, or you risked running yourself ragged. So as hard as you work, you should get just as much rest. Some of you, as hard as you work, you should have just as much fun. Take things very lightly. I was going to say take things with a grain of salt. So some of you, right, your electrolytes, you should be asking a lot of questions. So hopefully you got a good guidance energy here. Making healthy choices, making smart choices, overcoming things. Some of you learning to pull back where you need to pull back. It's a very interesting vibe with you. A lot of clarity coming in, a lot of balance. So, damn. You're like this Ace of Cups. If you don't understand your value, your worth, or how you look at things, that's why you sort of get met with this opposition. Some of you could just be dealing with a bunch of old school bullshit that don't have shit to do with you. Just antiquated sort of philosophies and ways of looking at things. How dare you, Sagittarius? Songwriting, acting, producing. What makes her think that she can? Oh, baby, it's songwriting, acting, producing. What does she think she's a man? Ooh, you in some good energy. I don't know if Barbara Streisand's a Sagittarius or not. There's that Five of Pentacles. Some of you, it's a busted type energy that you're in. Those of you, if you're looking at it from a spiritual standpoint, do be mindful of the energies you do sort of tap in there. Especially if it's just, it's the old school. It's the old school energy. Sagittarius. How dare you? How dare you? Ooh. Sagittarius, I feel like a lot of you have met this opposition for a while. So, you sort of, you get the opportunities and then you sort of get beat back down. So there's a lot of sort of growth with you, but it's very easy to sort of stay stuck or stagnant. A lot of you are coming out of that sort of stuck, stagnant energy. You're learning to sort of do things differently with the right sort of knowledge and help along the way. Overcoming a lot, which keeps you very grounded and focused. So you're always like, there's success, there's opportunities, and then there's always that sort of opposition. Those of you, if you put a sort of a religious element on it, some of y'all, that's just old school way of thinking. You need to sort of get out of that sort of stuck, stagnant viewpoint. Some of y'all, the sort of energies that you do tap the fuck into, just aren't really as advanced as you are. Switching it up. Switching it the fuck up. You're like the change that's needed. Some of you, this brings about the change that's needed when it comes to you, when it comes to the opportunities with you. It's two energy, the Two of Swords there, that Two of Wands. So some of you, it's not going to be like overnight. There's nothing going to be all that dramatic that everything sort of changes. It's a lot of starts and stops. It's a lot of taking it slow. You put forth a lot of work one day, but make sure that you get just enough rest. Some of you get over a sort of time frame that you have. It takes however fucking long it takes. Don't push yourself to the point that you overtire yourself. Right? Proper stretching. You should be having a lot of good conversations with this energy. I feel like you have a sort of guidance energy. Some of you need that guidance as well. So that way you're not so hard on yourself. You're not so hard on yourself. Some of you could be having to develop calluses, which might sound negative, but it's actually really good. So it's doing the work. It's sort of getting comfortable in that as well. So as you progress forward, as you're making different decisions, as you're overcoming, you're going to sort of have the signs. You're going to know you've been doing the work. This isn't like everything changes overnight. This isn't like, oh my God, epiphany and boom, everything changes. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of time, and it takes however the fuck long it takes. You just got to stay persistent. So there is no time frame on something. It takes however long it takes. It is whatever the fuck it is. There's no expediting this. Page of Swords are over the King of Cups, and there's the King of Wands. You got the King of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. Woo. King of Wands has this sort of heartbroken energy. Damn. Some of you moving through that stuck energy. Some of you, there's just an archaic way of looking at things. A very busted down, broke ass type way of looking at things that switches when your dynamic shows up. Between all that, yeah, it's not yours. Take what's yours and leave what's not. Those of you, it's the sort of energy that you're in. Some of you, healthy boundaries there at that Seven of Wands. Take what's yours and leave what's not. Those of you learning to just sit down and shut the fuck up. Not everyone needs to know what you're doing. Not everyone is going to cheer on your accomplishments. So, you know, keep that shit to yourself. Keep talking it out, working it out, getting the help that you need, focusing, getting the answers that you need, looking at things from a different viewpoint. So you can be doing the work on yourself, Sagittarius, but the whole world doesn't even know that you're doing the work on yourself because no one probably even gives a fuck. So it's kind of like that vibe. Keep that shit to yourself. If you're doing the work, it shows. Some of you just getting out of that sort of stuck, stagnant energy. It's not doom and gloom. Some of you, where's the sort of positive vibes on that? Damn, Sagittarius. I mean, what the fuck? The Emperor, the Eight of Cups. Who withholds their feelings? Who withholds their sort of love for you? This Aries vibe with you? Some of you are dealing with somebody who really isn't that sort of Ten of Cups happiness. They're a very emotionally incompetent person. This is that sort of Capricorn vibe. This isn't a religious sort of vibe with you, Sagittarius. Some of you could be looking for like acceptance or love from somebody who really, that is not what they are about. This is like old school energy too, so this does not need to be romantic. Some of you are getting out of stuck, stagnant sort of family vibes. Whatever the fuck this group dynamic is, it's not a situation where there's a lot of love. So, you know, those of you, if you keep dating people that emotionally are really not who you need to be focusing them dreams on. Some of you that keep attracting those sort of moody ass energies. It's not lack of opportunities, but make sure you're making smart choices. Those of you that try to deal with people who emotionally are unavailable, or emotionally aren't going to give you that satisfaction that you need. If you want someone that discusses their feelings, then you can't date somebody that can't discuss their feelings, right? The clarity comes in when you make smarter choices. Some of you are realizing that. Yeah, the Five of Wands there and the Eight of Wands. Sagittarius, do be mindful that you don't deal with people that just show enough emotions that kind of buffalo you into thinking that they're the right person. So I feel like your expectations need to be higher. And you need to look at things from what you need, how this relationship or partnership will work. Those of you moving from those energies that aren't really providing that emotional connection that you need. Work, love, life with you here, Sagittarius. It can be messy, but don't tap into that energy. Those of you, quit trying to create a romantic relationship or partnership from someone who really isn't capable of giving that. They never have been. So it's time you sort of move on and focus on what is like better opportunities with you. Damn, the complexity with you, Sagittarius. Take what's yours and leave what's not. There is no sort of happily ever after. For some of you, if you choose people who are emotionally unavailable, they never could create that 10 of Cups. So realizing that, making smarter choices. This does feel like don't drink the fucking Kool-Aid. Sagittarius, you got this Ace of Cups. Be very mindful of who gets that sort of time and energy with you. You got a lot of fake-ass energy, but you're going to have that. This is almost like exfoliating energy. So take what's yours, leave what's not. Some of y'all keep that sort of stuck, stagnant energy away from you. Keep focusing on you as well. Scorpio, healing, look, magician with the Aquarius vibe. Definitely watch your favorite astrologer if you have Scorpio, Aquarius placement. This is like a good vibe for you, but it is like sort of sloughing off what you don't need and not focusing on the sort of negative vibes, right? This is like taking a bath in a dirty river, right? You're not really going to get nowhere. This is also like a good massage vibe. What do they tell you after you've had a good massage? Drink plenty of water that gets the sort of toxins moving. So those of you that are doing the healing work, make sure you're sort of expelling that negative energy too. So maybe you're using mantras or scripture or looking at the sort of positive vibe of things. Replenishing that negative with something positive. Especially if you're talking this out, you're working this out. So definitely go to the people that you need to get the answers that you need and be very mindful on this sort of journey with you. There is no sort of time frame, so it takes however long it takes. If you're doing a lot of work, make sure you're getting plenty of rest. Some of you, you're more like in competition with yourself. Or you could feel like you're in competition with yourself, but there is no competitive energy with this. This is, it takes the time that it takes. There's science around this too. So those of you, definitely focus on the science of things as well. Oh, it's so beautiful, but Lord, it could be so complex if you allow it to be. If you're in this energy, if you're doing the work, this isn't something you need to announce. So not everyone's going to give a fuck, Sagittarius. Just keep that focus on you. Some of you learning to sit down and shut the fuck up anyway with whatever the hell it is you got going on. Because you get some distractor energy. Especially those of you that sort of moving from that sort of archaic energy. It's like... yeah, trying to take a bath in a dirty fucking river or in dirty water. What are you really doing? So not everyone's going to be in this sort of energy with you. Damn, Sagittarius. Take what's yours and leave what's not. Some of you got to learn to focus and love yourself first. This could definitely be astrological, especially with the Aquarius influence. Some of you, that Scorpio vibe, that could be your Jupiter. Or if you have Scorpio in your chart anywhere. You got the moon vibes here. So there is so much, but don't let it overwhelm you. It takes however long it takes. Some of you need to get out of that sort of relay type vibe where you're expecting someone else to sort of move you along and focus on doing like a sprint. So instead of the relay, focus more on like a sprint type vibe. You're the only one you're dependent upon to sort of cross the finish line. So not everyone's going to be on this journey with you. Not everyone needs to be, because some of you could slow you the fuck up. So that's a choice. Take what's yours, leave what's not, Sagittarius. It could feel stagnant. It could feel like it's dragging ass, Sagittarius, but it is what the fuck it is. Anything else for Sagittarius? Five of Cups. Release energy. Mourn it, move through it, and move the fuck on. But you're going to be in that energy however long it takes. So some of you don't try to put a time limit on it. Don't try to put a time frame on it. I feel like you are a missed opportunity, Sagittarius. Those of you that move from that energy, those of you that aren't sort of drinking the Kool-Aid, those of you that aren't focusing on the lost relationships or partnerships, you keep that optimism. This could definitely be that duality coming in for you too. Some of you getting out of stagnant relationships or partnerships, understanding what this is, but this is going to take you a while to look at relationships or partnerships from a more optimistic viewpoint. If you're not optimistic about dating, you don't feel good about relationships or partnerships, you're never really going to create a beautiful energy like this, right? So keep doing the work. You're definitely pulling away from what you don't need. So, you know, damn, what's between all that? Keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. Baby steps, but it is movement. Ooh. Good luck. God bless, Sagittarius. Take what's yours and leave the rest. This is beautiful. Rather uneventful, though. So, fuck the timing on something. It takes however long it takes. Peace, love, light. Like, share, subscribe. Take what's yours and leave the rest.